All right, so now for the fun part, we're gonna add a face to this. This is where we get to be a little silly. I have smoothed this down and shaped it. The more you smooth it down and the more you shape it, the better this is gonna look. So it's entirely up to your preference. But I've spent some time smoothing this down, and I did add to my shape, made it a little taller, so it's got kind of this look. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start with the nose, and the nose can look however you want. I always like to start all of my sculptural shapes as a sphere. So what I'm going to do is, face jugs are kind of supposed to be silly. So for this nose, I'm going to make it nice and long, okay? And then maybe stick it right there. When we are sticking these shapes, we do have to score, slip, and stick. So remember, scoring is like, it's creating a friction so that when we place the two pieces together, the nose on this, it's going to stick together kind of like Velcro. So I'm going to take my slip. My slip is just watered down clay, and it acts as my glue. And then I'm going to stick that on there, and then I'm going to stick my nose on my pottery guy. So I'm going to give this guy a nice big nose. And as I'm doing it, I want to kind of all the way attach it. I really like these tools. I refer to them kind of as skinny fingers. So what I can do here is, as I'm attaching this piece, I can use it to also attach. So it's the same motion as right here. I'm doing that. So I'm doing the same thing with this. This is just a lot skinnier. And what this does is it helps me retain the shape. So you can see right here, it's not quite attached. So I'm going to take my tool and just like a finger, I'm going to fully attach that. So there's my nose. And if I want to shape that a little more, I can. So let's say I want nostrils right there. I'm going to remove some clay. And that's going to be my nose. So here we go. Let's do some eyes. So what I'm going to do with the eyes, once again, we're keeping this silly. So I'm going to use two spheres. I want to create them kind of the same, approximately, unless of course you want like different eyes. And then I'm going to try them on and see how I like that. I like that a lot. So I'm going to keep it. You can make the eyes any shape you want. You could make them triangular. You can make them, more oval. It's up to you. So first thing we got to do is we got to add that friction, the scoring. The scoring is there. We add the slip, and then we're going to stick those eyes. I think the closer together those eyes are, the better. Now, if we smooth this all the way down with the finger, we're going to lose the shape of the eye. So again, that's where this comes in. And just like we would do this with the finger to smooth it, we're going to use this instead. And I'm not going to lose the shape of my eyes. So I'm going to go all the way around and fully attach those guys. Now, let's have some fun with these. Let's do some eyelids. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create a little coil, a very small one. Little coil. Very little. And then I'm going to put it on top. I'm going to put this one on top, so you can kind of see there. It's like a U on top of the eye. And then I'm going to smooth that all the way down. So you can see how now it's smoothed down. Just in the back. I didn't score and slip this piece because I'm smoothing it all the way down for the most part. If it makes you feel more comfortable, do score, slip, and stick it. There we go. I've got some eyelids there. And if I want to take it a step further, I can also, so now he's looking kind of serious. He's very serious about his big nose. And if I want to, I can add another eyelid here, and I can leave it like that, or I can smooth it all the way down. And then it's kind of looking like that. And I'm just gonna kind of let this guy become who he's gonna become. I'm gonna do another right here. So there he is. Now the last thing we want to do is a mouth. And there's lots of ways we can do the mouth. So the main thing we want to do is we want a top lip and we want a bottom lip. So one thing I like to do is an underbite. So I would do kind of just a bottom lip and then create these silly teeth. So these are going to get scored, slip, and stuck. Just so you know. So now he's got a tooth right there. And then a tooth right here. So maybe he looks kind of like this. So now I'm going to make his mouth maybe kind of crooked. That's kind of fun. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to score, slip, and stick these shapes where they go. Now that I've kind of figured out where I want them. Definitely going to need to score, slip, and stick these. So these are the teeth. Boop, boop. Again, especially with the teeth, we don't want to smooth these down, but this part's going to disappear completely. So I'm going to put that right there. And then this is going to go right here. Again, I want it kind of lopsided. So I'm going to score this. I'm going to score where it's going to go. I'm going to add that slip. And I'm going to smooth this part all the way down right there. So now we have kind of this monster looking guy. And then I can come in here and add a pupil and some nostrils. And I've got myself a good looking face jug. I could go as far as adding hair, a mustache, ears. You know, this is where you really get to have fun and play with them.